Well, how do you expect the United Nations expect to raise money, to mobilize money toward the Paris Agreement, especially when the Green Climate Fund, in his 6 years of existence, is still struggling to reach his $100 billion goal? So how can you tell me?
It has been very difficult, first of all, to have an agreement in Paris last year. But I'm very happy and encouraged that world leaders have shown such a strong commitment and unity of purpose to make sure that people live in healthier, more prosperous, and more peaceful world, and addressing climate change phenomenon. Agreeing to this Paris Agreement has been very difficult, but more difficult will have to be translating all these words into action. That's what we are going to discuss in Marrakesh COP22. I'm going to be there next week. There are many resources are necessary, required, particularly technology and, more importantly, financial support, so that all the developing countries would be able to mitigate and adapt to this changing situation. For that, OECD countries, rich countries, have promised to mobilize $100 billion by 2020, and thereafter $100 billion. As a Secretary General, I have been working very hard to mobilize money. By 2012, we have mobilized $30 billion, and all these $30 billion have been dispersed. And I have also been able to mobilize another $10 billion by the end of last year. And this Green Climate Fund is now having with $10 billion, and they have been evaluating all these projects which have been applied by many developing countries. Now we have to mobilize much more. I sincerely hope that the member states will take urgent action to mobilize $100 billion so that this money can be dispersed to help many developing countries to adapt. Now, it's only right that those countries who have not made much contribution to the greenhouse gas emissions should not be wholly responsible on their own. They should be supported.